Hello, everyone. This is Dr. S.N. Ali, and I warmly welcome to you this session that is on Introduction to Mendeley. So basically, in today's era, where we are going to conduct research on multiple disciplines, so there is no need to hassle or put your efforts on just editing the referencing, or you can going to use the Google Scholar, other citation. So there is a need to use a very easy and very, you can say that need of the era that can transform your manual efforts into automatic generation of the references. So this is a solution, and that is why I am here with you to discuss in detail how Mendeley works and how Mendeley can put your efforts into a very easy form. So starting with the basic intro, this is how the Mendeley platform is, that is managing your referencing, read and annotate PDF files. Like you can write notes, you can highlight your text that is on the PDF forms. You can cite research by using the Microsoft Word. So the point is, you are just going to write down the referencing. Previously, in the last version of the Mendeley, there is a need to edit your referencing when you are talking about the running texts. As far as the reference in the last of the sentence, so then Mendeley can provide you a reference. But as far as the running sentences are concerned, so there is a need to manually editing the things. But today in this video, I'll just discuss with you that Mendeley is basically providing you running text as well as the referencing that can be added in the end of the sentence. And finally, the collaborate. Collaborate concept means when you are working in a group with some other colleagues, with some other friends. So then you can create a group. You can give the invitation, send the invitation, the other person can receive the invitation, and after confirmation, the referencing, the papers you are going to upload on that particular group can easily be viewed by every person that is the member of that certain group. So these are the main products of the Mendeley Reference Manager, Mendeley site that can be a plugin on the Microsoft Word, and the Mendeley Web Importer, a very convenient and easy form that can easily transform the referencing that can be viewed on the Elsewhere, on the Scopus database, or on the Google Scholar. By just clicking on Mendeley Web Importer, you can easily transform all your referencing on your Mendeley library. So I can give you a detailed representation of the Mendeley software, how you're going to add the referencing from the Mendeley Web Importer, or how you can cite your referencing through the Microsoft Word. So this is a basic intro, like how you're going to install your Mendeley. So you can easily view from here, go to mendeley.com website. You can find it, the download for the Windows. Then you can download it from your computer. These two very important products that I discussed earlier, Web Importer and the site for the Microsoft Word. So just clicking on these two plugins, the Mendeley Web Importer and the Microsoft Word is installed on your computer. So that can be used in the future for adding the referencing in your library. So this is you can say the layout of the Mendeley Reference Manager. All referencing are given here. You can easily upload referencing from the library, from the BibTeX file if you're going to use the LaTeX and software. If you're going to import your referencing from the EndNote, then it can also be helpful by just clicking on the import file. So here is going to building a library. How are we going to build the library on the Mendeley? So these are the referencing. In the right window, you can view info, annotation, notebook. So in the information link, by just clicking on the paper, the right side window is going to tell you that is the paper is uploaded here, is the abstract format is given here, and the tags are there. So this is how Mendeley works on a cloud database where there is no need to use your hard drive everywhere. You just have a Mendeley sign-in option with you, internet technology with you, in your tablet, in your laptop, mobile phone, any device, anywhere in the part of the country, you can use your database up to 2 GB if you are using the free access. And if you are the active member or the registered member of Mendeley, then the database can be enhanced up to 7.5 GB. So it depends on you, but as far as my understanding, for basic working, initial working, 2 GB database is more than enough. But if you think that the data can be enhanced, so become the part of Mendeley advisor. They can provide you a more access, more options, and also update your data. Okay, the synchronization option, as I'm talking about, if you are using the Mendeley on the cloud database, then there is a need to just click on the synchronization option. The reason behind is that when you're going to sync the data, then the data is uploaded on the Mendeley cloud, and then it can be accessed all over the world. Okay, this is how you can upload, you can add the articles in your library. I can just give you a brief demo here. Here you can upload the paper from the hard disk of your computer by just, you can say that import the paper. You can just pick the paper and paste the paper in your library. And you can also add the multiple papers. It depends on your own requirement. Okay, this very interesting option. When you're going to add new paper, that can be added from the computer, that can be in a form of the library, import of the library. For instance, if you're going to take some database, some referencing from the EndNote software, from the LaTeX software, or RIS file format. So these three formats are easily accessible, and you're just going to take the file from any person, from your friend, from your peer, and you can upload the file in your own database. So it's a very convenient option for every researcher. So this is how it works. Okay, this is the main platform, as I discussed earlier. This is how you can add import library. Okay, very interesting option is there. Identifier, that is a DOI number. If you have just a DOI number, then you can import the paper as a manually. So this can also be a second option, that if you have a complete paper with you, then you can upload the paper. If you have a DOI number, then you can use the DOI number and can upload the paper in your library. Okay, the next product of Mendeley that I was talking about, Mendeley Web Importer. So Mendeley Web Importer is just like that. Like in the right side, there is an options that is given on your left side of the screen. In the Scopus database, these 52 documents are in front of you. When you're going to click on the Mendeley Web Importer, the right side option is there. You're just going to click on that particular paper that is required, and then it can be automatically added into your library. So that is very convenient option, very interesting option for you, that you're going to select to add to optional. Then you can select a reference title to edit the metadatabase, and then select view PDF to import the article along with the reference. So there are two options are there. One is that the paper can be uploaded without the PDF file if the PDF is not there. But if the PDF is there, it's an open access paper, then it can automatically add the PDF file in your library as well. So this is how it can be worked as by adding the files in the future. For example, initially you just uploaded the paper, but the PDF file was not there. But in future, with the help of your friend or any other access, you got the paper, then you can add the paper in the previous added reference. So it means that without the paper, it can also be uploaded, and after a passage of time, when you got the paper, then you can upload the same paper on the same reference. Okay, exporting referencing. If you're going to share your papers to some other friend, to some other group of individuals, then you can easily export the bibtex file, EndNote text file, or RIS file. And you can share this file to your friend, and that person can easily import that library into his or her Mendeley Reference Manager library. Next, we have how you're going to manage your library. So in the left side, the highlighted form, recently added, recently read, favorite options, publications, and the trash. Means the papers who just deleted from your database, you can also can be a possibility to you can say that again use that particular paper. So it's mean the papers who just read 30 days before, you just highlighted as your favorites, and you can tag it as your publication can be viewed as serial wise in the first, second, third position. So it's very convenient for you that you can tag the papers up to your own requirement. Otherwise, the suggestion is that you're going to create your own collection, that is a custom collection. You can write down the name of the papers. For example, if I'm working on my thesis, on my publication, then I can write down the name of my custom collection as my research work, my publications, my student work. So that can be easily for me to organize that library, because after a particular time when the papers are there in thousands, so there is very difficult for you to manage the things. So there is a need to organize initially. For instance, if you're going to start your collection with the help of one paper, so I suggest you to organize your library in the start. So there is not become the hassle in the future. So this is how it works. Okay, the metadata, the tags. For example, if I'm going to identify my paper in the future with the help of what methodology that paper was used, or what kind of the interpretation was there. So I can add a tagging to certain particular paper by just searching with the help of search option. I can use that particular terms, and that can directly track me to that particular paper. So it's quite easy for me to search in the future. Okay. Next, we have, you can say that DOI identifier. For example, if you just want to, as I talked about earlier, you just want to add paper manually, then this DOI number is basically very helpful for you. That can be known as an identifier. So it can also tagged as a metadata that can be helpful for you, for the other researcher to can find out the paper that it can be easily available on the different databases. And also, it can be basically Mendeley catalog. The other persons can also find this research that is known as the Mendeley web catalog. So it's also known as info panel that can be used for the other researcher. Okay, action panel is basically when you are going to identify individual paper, two papers, or multiple papers, and you're going to add to the collection, that is your custom collection, or you can add it to your groups. So this is how you can just click on the number of papers that can be viewed in front of your library. You can add to your collection, you can add the name of the collection, or you can add your group. So this is how action panel can be helpful for you. Okay, in the start, I just talking about the reference to the groups and the collection. So in the group form, when you're going to create a group, for example, the clinical trial 2019 group name is written here, marketing research group is there. So just adding papers to these certain groups and invite your friends. So then your friends can easily view these papers into their own Mendeley reference manager library. So this is how it can be added. You can just look at that. Right? So we just added theory of change two papers that can be viewed by other persons who are the part of this particular group. And I can also add some kind of statics for the main identifying things. This is also a way I can add some kind of papers into my custom collections. For example, this collection. So previously I just talked about adding papers into the groups, and now I'm just talking about adding papers to the custom collections that are my own folders I already created. Okay, searching your library. For example, if I'm going to find out some kind of papers that are in my library, but in different custom collections in different groups, so I can just easily filter it out by typing the name of the paper, by typing the name of a single word that is basically in your mind. Then Mendeley can easily highlight certain papers, and that can be easy for me to download or to read out that particular paper. Selecting tags to refine a research, as I talked about, that you're going to adding a tag, and after adding a tag, the methodology, other kind of tagging were there. So that can easily find it out how much tags are added to certain papers, and then it can be easily track out to you to find out their certain papers. Okay, the reading and annotation. When you are just viewing your paper and you just want to highlight some content and you just want to share that particular content to your supervisor, to your senior person, so it's quite easy for you to highlight the text to make the notes, and that can be helpful in order to show and to discuss your research with your supervisor, with your teacher. So this is how you can highlight, you can create notes. Using Bootstrap to improve resampling exercises, right? So now it's very easy for me to just add some annotation to add that particular paper. And then, for instance, if I'm going to discuss this concern issue to my supervisor, that is quite easy for me to just find out from the annotation from some notebooks. Then I can show to my the person with which I'm working. So it's very helpful for both of us to discuss a lot of things that cannot be understood without the help of these highlights options or without any support from these notebooks. So you can easily view here how it can basically work. So this is how the importance of that particular annotation and highlighting options, right? Okay, reading offline option is also there. For example, if you don't have internet access with you, then what you can do, you just can download the reference option. It can take some time, but after downloading all library in your own particular hard drive, then you can easily read all the papers when you are offline. And this is how Mendeley Web Importer is basically what that can be generate your citation, as I discussed earlier, that at the right side, you can find out the papers. That is basically the part of different Google Scholar or other databases. And then you can select one option and can add in your insert citation. So one thing I just want to add here that with this Mendeley new version, now you can easily change the style of the referencing. For example, if you're interested to submit your paper in Academy of Management Journal, in Anxiety, Stress and Coping, and other renowned journals, then there is no need to find out, to figure it out what kind of reference style they are expecting from you. You just find out the paper, just find out the name of the journal. You just can select the journal format and the format of the referencing which they are expecting. Mendeley can automatically design our referencing according to that particular journal. So I'm thinking it's a very helpful and very novel thing that Mendeley can provide us, and we are very much thankful to the Mendeley for providing such a great innovation. So this is how Mendeley site option is there. You can just easily pick out the Mendeley site. You can track this Mendeley site to the right side, to the left side, wherever you are more convenient with that. So this is the finding as I'm talking about the citation style. For example, Howard, Emerald, and different other universities and journal styles. The collaborate options, the group options, where you can add different papers into certain groups, right? You can manage the groups. You can discover the resources from the Mendeley database. Like it's also embedded with the Scopus database. So you can easily just using that database, you can use that option add to Mendeley library, and that paper can automatically add it to your library. So now I'm just going to discuss with you one more important thing, that is here as we discussed, that annotation options are there, notebook option is there that I mentioned here, the information option, you can use the tagging option, you can have a DOI number that can be used as an identifier. You can find it out from that particular exporting option that can be big text, EndNote file, RIS file. So it's mean the multiple options are there for your convenience. You can use, you can utilize, and if you have further any kind of inquiry or any kind of information you just need to ask from my side, then I am very much thankful for you for listening, and I'm expecting that this video can help you out. And if you just need some kind of queries or questions, then you can approach me. I'm very much available for you every time. So kindly let me know whenever you need any kind of assistance from my side. So thank you very much for the listening. Take care. Goodbye.